massive mid-season meeting at Princess Auto Stadium between the 4-2 Bombers and the 2-4 Calgary Stampeders. Calgary comes in after dropping both ends of a home-and-home with Montreal. Winnipeg has won 3 in a row. They're playing well, and we're expecting Brady Oliveira to be a big part of things tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator for the Blue Bombers, I need to get Brady going, especially on first down. You look at how Calgary is built to have 2 great edge rushers to get a ton of pressure. Keep Drew Brown in second and manageable. You do that by giving the ball to Brady on first down, getting those 2nd and 5 range. And then on the flip side, Dedrick Mills right here. This guy's been awesome all year. The offense is #1 rush offense in the league. They have scored a ton of points. He's a major reason. Talking to Mike O'Shea before the game, Winnipeg's head coach says, we got to tackle this guy. His broken tackle is unbelievable.
Dave Dickinson and his team so far 1-1 on the road. Mentioned the back-to-back losses to Montreal. He is 16-7 in his career against Winnipeg. Mike O'Shea, his team has won 3 in a row, all of them against teams from the East, winning them by a combined total of 12 points. Bombers 1-2 at home so far this season. They did win the coin toss, and they want the ball first. They want to get it into the hands of Trey Vavel to get this thing going. Second of 3 meetings between these two clubs this year. Winnipeg with a walk-off winner, 30-28 back in week 1 out at McMahon in Calgary. And we are underway. Friday Night Football in Winnipeg. This is a high kick. Vavel slides under it, takes it at the 15. Contain him, gets back to about the 25 and no further, and that'll give us our first look at Drew Brown, who's 2-0 since filling in for the injured Zach Collaros and had a game-winning drive last week.
Yeah, and Dusty, you said he's 2-0, and I get that there's some familiarity with Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but in the same breath, you don't know the receivers. Every year is a new year. He's really been phenomenal given the circumstance he's been put in.
Brady Oliveira stands in behind him. Brady, best game of the season was against Calgary in week 1. His only 100-yard game of the year, and his only rushing touchdown of the season came in that game. They started to Brady, and he stopped for a loss. Let's take a look at Winnipeg's starting offense.
Yeah, up front for me, it's the year 15 man out of Saskatchewan, Pat Neufeld. This guy is a special, special player. To be doing it at his age is something phenomenal. It was really fun talking to him before the game. And at receiver, Ontario Wilson, last week has really developed into the favorite target of Drew Brown. He had 15 targets. Now, he only caught 7 of them, so it'll be interesting to see if they continue to go back to him or if that was just a one-time thing against Ottawa. 35% target share last week for Ontario Wilson. Obviously has some chemistry with Brown, and they're in a throwing situation here. 2nd and 11, Brown hesitates, dumps it off, and that is caught on the far sideline by Gavin Cobb, his 9th catch of the year, but that'll be short of what they need for the first down, and it'll be a 2-and-out to start the game for the Bombers. Yeah, and I'll say this, if you're Bob Slowick right now, D coordinator for Calgary, coming into this game, your pass defense has been very, very poor. You're 8th in the league when it comes to yards given up. I know it's only first drive, Dustin, but you like that. Drew was looking to take a shot. They forced him to check it down, rallied and tackled.
Something to build on for this Calgary defense. McAllister waits for this punt from Jamison Sheen. It's a low kick. Spins in there. McAllister will take it at the 30. And now he's going to kick it to the near sideline. Has a little bit of room. Will find the 50 before he's pushed out of bounds by Wilson. And that will bring out Vernon Adams Jr. Excellent start to the season despite just the 2 victories. He'll tell you he'll take 6 of those. Who cares about the TD to INT ratio? But 17 touchdowns and no interceptions, pretty impressive.
Yeah, those numbers are very, very impressive to say the least. One of the emphasis he has for this game is starting fast. They've been behind a lot of games, and he's had to kind of pull out a lot of magic late to get him back in. So his big emphasis, he said this week, is getting these early drives going to get points.
Calgary has trailed at the end of the first quarter in all 4 of their losses. VA, quick hitter, and that's going to go for a first down. A little bit more to Philpott. He'll take it down inside the 35. And a big play early in this one for Jalen Philpott.
Yeah, and you're just going to see here, it's just a little hitch rail, but what happens is you're so tight in on trying to stop the run. You see the run action that everyone's flying in there. And all of a sudden, you make one man miss, and it's an explosive play. Easy pitch and catch. So as much as it's a great job by the receiver and the quarterback, just the mere presence of Dedrick Mills there is a big factor in that play.
Philpott has had 30-yard plays in 3 straight games. This one goes for 28. Now to the other side to Brooks. Breaks a tackle inside the 20. Let's take a breather here and give you a look at Calgary's starting offense.
Yeah, up front, the year 2 man, Chris Fortin out of Yukon, 8th overall pick in 2025. This guy right now is 5th in the league and lowest pressure rate allowed. For a year 2 man to be doing that, pretty special. And then we talked about Dietrich Mills. He's #1 in the league in missed tackles. He's #2 in yards after contact. He's a complete back. The offense runs through him. As much as we want to talk about Vernon Adams, this guy is phenomenal and a very, very fun watch.
It'll be McAllister in the game at running back here behind Vernon Adams. And they'll give it to him, and he takes it down to the 5, looking for the end zone. Got it! Touchdown, Stampeders! What a start! Tyreek McAllister with the early touchdown for the visitors.
This is a pretty special job here, and I want to talk about aiming point. So what you're going to see is we actually miss this block here, but because of the aiming point, as we watch this, watch McAllister's, he stays on his track, and all of a sudden, there's the miss, and he takes one cut, and we're up the field. So we talk about aiming point as a running back. That's the key right there, where it's, okay, even if backside we miss, we can beat this by staying on our track. What a great job by the backup running back, McAllister.
What a start. It up and through, and it is a 3-play. Just 1 second for the Stampeders to find a major of the season.
Winnipeg, you got to be going back feeling a little silly right now because you have guys dead to rights and you simply don't get them down with tackles.
VA 2 of 2 on that drive for 42 yards, completions of 28 yards to Phil Bott, 14 yards to Eric Brooks. And Vernon Adams, who's 7-4 in his career against Winnipeg. A nice start. Babel. Flag is thrown as he sort of lunges back ahead, close to the 25-yard line. And here's a look at what Drew Brown was able to accomplish last week.
Yeah, I'll say this, Dustin. One of the things that really impresses me watching film on Drew Brown, and right now his completion percentage under pressure
Winnipeg number 96
is first in the league.
10-yard penalty.
So he's able to make a lot of plays. He's very comfortable being back there. It's at 75% under pressure here. Like, for the short amount of time he's had in the building this year, he's really done a tremendous job.
Over his career, he's had success against the Calgary Stampeders. He's 4-0 in 4 career starts against the Stamps. There was a hold on the return, and that backs the Bombers up to their own 10-yard line. They'll start the drive in the belly of Brady Oliveira, and he's going to rumble ahead to about the 15. Let's take a look at Calgary's starting defense.
Yeah, up front they got some absolute units, but I'm going to focus in on Clarence Hicks here out of UTSA. He's got 28 quarterback pressures, #1 in the league, and his pressure rate is also #1 in the league. And then Markel Lee, this guy was actually a former teammate of mine in camp. He's out of Wake Forest. He's 3rd in the league in tackling efficiency. He's done a great job at MAC. And then right here, this is the unit needs to get better. And I'll highlight Anthony Johnson because he's 3rd in the year in completion percentage allowed, but this unit has struggled this year. Look to see them hopefully take a step in the right direction.
2nd and 4. Brown gets that one away. Incomplete. Looking in the direction of Wilson, who is working against Webb, but that ball drops about 5 feet short in front of Ontario Wilson.
And it's a tough 2-0 for Drew Brown in this offense. Not the start you wanted, but that being said, it does seem like this offense gets better as the game goes here. But on the flip side, what a dream start right now, Dustin, for Calgary.
So you get 2 2-and-outs.
Yes.
And then you have a 3-play drive that only takes 91 seconds. And you have a 7-0 lead on the road. It's ideal start for the Stampeders. McAllister's backed up on this one. Takes it just inside the 35. Found a little bit of space. A spin move up to the 45. And that is where they will take him down. What a start to the season for Vernon Adams Jr. See if the Stampeders can turn that into a
Adams Jr. has been absolutely stellar despite the 2-4 record. In this season alone, 17 passing touchdowns to start without an interception. If he gets that 18th, that's him in the history books. And when speaking with him about this milestone, you know, he said he obviously wanted to acknowledge how cool it was. But what really stood out to me was after acknowledging that, he immediately said, I'd rather have 17 interceptions and 0 touchdowns if that meant that the team was 6-0. His head coach, Dave Dickinson, says what he's seen from Adams Jr. is just a lot of maturity, better decision-making, and just more comfortability, which has helped this Calgary offense reach the level it has so early in the season, guys.
All right, looks comfortable so far tonight. Another completion to Brooks. And I know it's not easy, Luke, but VA's making it look kind of easy early in this one.
Yeah, Dustin, you said another completion and a big chunk. He's got 3 completions, have all but 5-yard hitches. And I'm not saying, obviously, you don't abandon your game plan if you're Winnipeg, but if you're going to sit here and give this to this offense and Vernon Adams all game, they will take it. They will take it.
Completions of 28, 14, and 12.
Yeah.
And what you said, 5-yard hitches.
Way too easy.
This time on the ground, right up the middle. Dedrick Mills pushing it ahead against this Winnipeg starting defense.
Up front, Jake Cereza, big offseason acquisition. He's tied in 6 quarterback pressures. You know, to me, though, tonight, it's about eating up blocks in the run game to free up one of these 3 guys. They're all tremendous linebackers, but Tony Jones right now is tackling at a percentage of 90.4%. His efficiency, that's 8th in the league. He's been phenomenal. And the big one here is Jake Kelly. He's filling in for Cramdy. He's out of Bishops. Cramdy is kind of the mastermind behind the whole defense for me. They love to play match coverage, disguise things. So Cramdy out, he has huge shoes to fill. We'll see how he does.
Cereza had 3 sacks in week 1 against Calgary. Empty backfield here. VA feeling the pressure. And Willie Jefferson bats it down because, of course, he did.
Dustin, when you see this and you watch Vernon Adams look left, we talk about disguise and coverages, so he gets tricked out, and then you see Willie Jefferson here. So as we roll this, you're going to see the head go left. He thinks he's got a quick throw. Oh, no, it's not there. I got fooled. And when you have a rusher like Willie Jefferson and you get fooled, it generally does not work out well for you because he's right in your face.
4th knockdown of the year for Willie to go along with 4 sacks. And Calgary will be forced to punt. Bassett stands around the 50. I'm not sure they got that ball snapped in time, though.
Time call violation. Calgary number 15. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
They'll back him up 5 and kick it down.
Yeah, and Dustin, I'll say this. You're going to hear me call this coverage out a lot, but one of the things when you talk about this defense that Jordan Younger operates for Winnipeg, it's about pre-snap disguises. So more so than anyone in the league, they like to play match coverage, and you do a lot with that. And when you can fool the quarterback pre-snap, great things happen.
Bassett drops it just inside the 10, and that will roll into the end zone. And the Bombers will take the field position on that one. Calgary now leading 8-0. Willie Jefferson, he's been doing it for a long time, and he's having himself a season. 4 sacks, 4 knockdowns, 6-time All-Star. No, but I wanted to be a dragon as a child. Flying, breathing fire.
Does sound like a nice line.
I do, actually, I do love those shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here's Drew Brown. There's Wilson. Turned it around, but wrapped up. Nice tackle there by Ben LaBrosse, getting the start at corner for Calgary in this one.
Yeah, this is a nice job to kind of keep this in second and manageable here. Again, I call this a shin route. It's a short in. I don't call it a slant because you come very flat. You got that soft coverage. You kind of just back the defense up a little bit and, you know, kind of nickel and dime them. And eventually you work a double move off that if you feel like they're getting a little nosy.
Drew Brown's 3 of 4 to start the game. Just 12 yards. Calgary's defense holding him in check so far. That's Hutchins getting in there. Well, it's Brown, rather, getting in there a little bit late. A completion, this one for the first time tonight to Tim White, and that's a first down for Winnipeg.
I struggled a little bit in the first couple drives, but what's been unique about these first 2 plays here, Dustin, has been the empty shell. You look, Brady Oliveira is in the game, but they've got him kind of flexed out as a receiver the last 2 plays, and maybe something that they're going to try and focus in on and spread out the Stampeders the rest of the game.
Offensive coordinator Tommy Condell, after a couple of 2-and-outs, trying to ignite this offense a little bit. Moving Brady around. Right now, he'll stand right behind Drew Brown. Stays in the block. Brown with time. Goes down the field, and that is in and out of the hands of Tim White, who will probably tell you that he should have had that one.
Yeah, this is a concept they love running. They do an inside clear out, and it's really cool here because they bring in an extra offensive lineman. So you bring in an extra offensive lineman, and then what happens is you have a clear out here, and then you just basically come, I say a gin concept. So you have a go, that's the G, and the IN is an in. So you see the inside go, boom, and then we come right underneath with the in route. It's one of, I think, Drew Brown's favorite plays. He did it a lot last week against Ottawa, and like I said, the ball just plays a little bit easier.
2nd and 10, Brown's in trouble, and Calgary just bullies their way through that offensive line.
This is my guy right here. I don't know him, Dustin, but every time I watch him on film, he's an absolute game wrecker. Okay, and again, we're just working one-on-one. Here he is right here, and I just want to see the effort, the leverage. He fires out the ball, boom. Okay, uses hands, keeps going, little rip move, and we're there. I watch the film, and I think to myself, you know, Jalen Hutchings, when he's playing and he's rolling, he's unstoppable in this league.
Jamison Sheen kicking it away from McAllister. That'll drop at the 20, spins right back. McAllister waits, now he'll take it. And he is pushed out of bounds just outside the 20. 3rd sack of the season for Jalen Hutchings. Calgary's defense has come to play at Princess Auto Stadium on Friday Night Football. Against Montreal in Calgary. Wasn't enough to get the win, but he had 168 combined yards, had a touchdown in the air, had a touchdown on the ground, and VA's having a great year, but this guy is a motor.
Yeah, and Dustin, because of Justin Rankin in Edmonton, I think he's overshadowed Dietrich Mills with how great that's going. You watch the film, and he just jumps out. He does everything. He's a great runner. He breaks tackles. He's explosive. He catches the ball. Really a special player.
He's averaging 6.2 yards per carry. They will give it to him there. Pushes it back towards the line of scrimmage. And here's what he's doing this year. His pace versus what he did last year, which was the best year of his career.
Yeah, and I'll add, you know, to me, when you're talking about pro football, when opponents' coaches talk about you with like, hey, this guy's really impressive. Talking to Mike O'Shea this week, he said, hey, first off, this offensive line has jumped out. Talking about Calgary's offensive line, they've done a great job. But secondly, he said, we had a hard time tackling Mills in that early matchup they had. So that was a point of emphasis for this defense.
That one incomplete, looking for Brooks for a 3rd time in this game, but it falls incomplete. And Calgary, who was in a 2nd and 9 situation, will be forced to punt it away.
That's a bit of a strange one here. I don't know if they were just on different pages. It's not a complex route. They've run this a few times. You see Brooks, and obviously wanting like back, but you'd also, I think, looked like he was expecting that ball to kind of be in his chest. Again, just one of those things where the timing, chemistry, rhythm just didn't show up for them there.
Good field position moves. This is a bit of a shorter kick. Spirals up and flies out of bounds at the Calgary 54. And that is a miss from Bassett. And Winnipeg is going to have excellent field position to start this drive, trailing here early in this one by 8.
Legal punt out of bounds, Calgary. It's a 10-yard penalty from where it went out of bounds. 1st down, Winnipeg.
And we were talking about one running back. Let's look at the other. It's Brady Oliveira. And he is moving up the list of all-time franchise greats.
And obviously he's had a special career. I just like the way this whole unit runs the football. Like even right now, you know, you bring in a true tight end, Dante Daniels. You got Brady back there. They're just thumpers, you know. Here it is, inside zone. Brady understands what to do.
Yeah, they bring in Dembski there to help block a little bit as well. And Brady's made a living off of this, right? This is what Winnipeg does.
And he does such a good job in talking to Pat Neufeld before the game. He calls it protecting his blocks, where when you watch Brady run, he's very patient in the backfield. You'll see him set up because he doesn't want guys falling off. He understands what the blocking scheme is, which is a key point for any running back at any level, so he can set up his blocks. That's what I think his best skill is. And again, you'll see him, I call popping the clutch. All of a sudden, he's patient, boom, pop the clutch, and he gashes the team.
Now they run Brady out to the top of your screen, way out to the left for Brown. Empty backfield, Brown goes over the middle, and he's got a completion to Pokey Wilson, but there is a flag on the play just outside the 40. This one looks like it's coming back against the Bombers.
Offside. Winnipeg number 20. 5-yard penalty.
That's Brady.
Second down.
Our guy here, and that is one of the risks you take when you take a running back and you put him into the, receiving world, if you will. And there he is right there. You see him. He's just not used to the waggle, not used to the cadence. And you miss a first down there. And now we're sitting at 2nd and long. The dreaded CFL 2nd and long.
2nd and 10 from the Calgary 46. 4 options out to the left for Brown. He's going to use one of them over the middle, and that is held on to. It is Nick Dembski, and there's a flag in the secondary as well. This is against Calgary, I believe. That'll be a first down, Winnipeg.
Yeah, and going into this game, Dembski's 10th in the league in contested catches, and this is another one right here. So you're going to see him here. This isn't really anything crazy. It's almost like a basketball-style catch. So he bends in here, and you see how he just...
interference. Calgary number 9. Result of the play is the first down. The penalty is declined.
I call it getting
first
thick.
Down.
You got to kind of square up. When I say a basketball catch, it's a possession-style play where you shield the defender Webb there with your body. Dembski's one of the best guys at doing that. As far as his contested catch ratio goes, he just got one in the stat column right there.
You don't have 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons without making a few contested catches along the way.
Absolutely.
Fresh set of downs for the Bombers from the Calgary 29. They'll hand it off to Chris Ike, and he pushes it down. Short pickup on first down as they work in Michael Chris Ike to the running game a little bit.
And to me, these are the situations they really need to stay out of Winnipeg. And I get you get 3 there at 2nd and 7, but you'd like to be 6 or shorter. That's going to put Drew in a really, really good situation, because we both know these 2 ends in Hicks and Orimolade, they start getting in situations where they can pin their ears back. Look out.
Calgary gave up 15 points in the first quarter last week against Montreal. They're going to send 5. Brown, a deep drop. Now an end zone shot! Intercepted! Taken away in the end zone by LeBron! His first of the year! And Calgary's defense holds strong.
Dustin, this is one Drew's going to want back. He had it. You got the route. You got the play call. You just underthrew it. It's a great job coming back to make a play there by LeBron, but when you watch this here on the left side of your screen, it's what I call a skinny post, and you saw Ontario Wilson win there. The ball's just thrown behind him. And watch this route he does. So just kind of a little angle outside. There's the separation you need. You got to throw that ball in front of him. Just a play Drew Brown's going to want back.
You can tell Wilson had to pump the brakes, right? He slowed it down a little bit.
Yes. And in fairness, you're going to get plays like that when you've only been here for a few weeks this season.
Second interception of the season thrown by Brown. Back on the ground goes Calgary. And Dedrick Mills runs right in to Wilson after picking up 2 or 3 yards on first down. Let's give you another look at LeBron's interception.
And on the flip side, when you're talking about defense, so you get burned a little bit, but LeBron's not quitting on the play, not being like, hey, coming back, high points the ball. It's a tremendous job. They say DBs can't catch. That's a pretty nice catch right there, Dustin.
First career interception for the 4th overall pick in 2024 out of McGill. It'll be an empty set for VA. 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Pressure up the middle. On the right, taken down. Oh, it's Willie again. Had a knockdown earlier. And he's got his 5th sack of the season.
Willie's heating up. Willie's heating up. And once again, You see Adams look right, he pumps, he got full pre-snap, and Willie Jefferson does the rest. So here he is, okay, and he's just going to win. So as we watch Adams, he looks to his right. Not there. And Willie Jefferson, he really splits the tackle, the guard,
didn't he?
rips through there. Wrecking ball vibes. They need a play, he's making it. And he's done that for a long time for this team.
Willie had a good season last year, but he's having a prime Willie Jefferson season this year. It's incredible.
He absolutely is. And between the knockdowns, the pressures, the sacks, he does it all. And I do think having Jake Serezna has helped him a lot, because Serezna can take up so much opportunity and identity inside as well. Guys can key up Jake as well.
Bassett hangs this one up there. Babel takes it just outside the 40, and Babel's got a little bit of room. He'll spin into the 50, stays on his feet, and he's still going. Oh, Trey Babel! They'll take him down just inside the 30. Not a house call, but that was a spectacular return from Trey Babel.
Dustin, that's why this guy's the best in the league at this. The crease was unbelievable. What a phenomenal job there. Huge momentum boost.
Babel refused to be taken down, and his Bombers are in business, but they trail 8-0. First quarter in the books on Friday Night Football. Trailing Calgary 8-0 right now, and Calgary, a team that's dead last in the league in points allowed. For them to shut out the Bombers in the first quarter, that's something they can build on.
That's absolutely something they can build on. And getting a turnover. You look at this, you said it, the defense has struggled. They've been kind of middle of the pack against the run and terrible against the pass. 41 net yards given up in the first quarter and a turnover. Right now, if you're Bob Slowick, defensive coordinator, you're thrilled with that stuff.
You're thrilled with this if you're a Bombers fan. Trey Babel, he break 3-4 tackles on this before they eventually tripped him up. Usually he does it with speed. I mean, he was quick on this one as well. But he spun off a few tacklers, and he takes that ball for 41 yards. And Winnipeg will start this drive and start this quarter inside the Calgary 30. They were here a few moments ago as well, but Brown threw that interception. This time they'll go on the ground to Brady Oliveira. There's a flag as Brady takes it down to the 20. Would have been a good pickup on first down, but I believe this one is coming back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you missed one block here. It's called riding the wave, but it is going to come back here. This would be against Winnipeg.
Holding. Winnipeg number 10, that penalty's declined. Holding. Winnipeg number 66, that is accepted. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's first down. 2
holding penalties on the same play there against the Bombers.
So it's the front side here. This is where we're looking. This is the front side of the play. I'd call this a wide zone because the aiming point's a bit wider. And you see, I mean, it don't get it more obvious than that. Hicks sets the edge, and we reach, grab around, and that's how you get a penalty.
Here's Brown, pressure, throws it up. Dembski one-hands it. Now Dembski finds a little bit of space. Takes it down inside the 20. Makes a move at the 10. Rolling to the 5, and he's in! Touchdown, Bombers! How about that one? Dembski would not be denied.
Eddie, this is an awesome play call. Awesome play call, little wide receiver screen. What have I been saying this whole game? They got great rushers. They got great rushers. Well, what do you do when they want to pin their ear back on a first and super long? Let them rush up the field, and we'll slide a screen right in behind, and Dembski does the rest here. Makes the man miss. This guy's a special player to watch. I love the play call there by Tommy Condell.
Castillo makes it a 1-point game as the Bombers are on the board. Dembski's 3rd touchdown of the season gets things going here at home for Winnipeg.
Still a little young now.
Yeah, and again, let's go back to this play call. So you see Dembski there. This is just a little screen, like he's in protection, little patience. Boom, you see Neufeld get out. Neufeld, the big fella, just a presence. Dembski cuts right off of him. But again, we talk about these rushers on Calgary. And here they go. They get way upfield. So we're going to get way upfield here, which is what we want. We want to sell here front side that we're trying to basically go. And all of a sudden, kick. We let them lose up the field. Everyone comes in. We slot in right behind. You got two, as you know, bulls on parade for me. 2 linemen. Brady Oliveira's helping out.
Brady with the finish there.
I mean, he electrified this building. I haven't even gotten to the catch. I always find the one-handers, Dustin, whenever you can pluck it, it just adds a little more for me.
As opposed to roll it into your body.
Which is still sick. Watch that. See how he blocks that? Oh,
he did.
Get out there, Nick. There it is.
Those gloves, hey?
Yeah. Oh.
Got it done.
Got it done. I believe it was Neufeld and Ellsbury, too. When you get O-linemen in space, let's give Pat Neufeld a little love here. This guy is in year 15. And they're running screens to his side. He's out in space. Dembski come right off him. That's a very well-executed offensive play. Perfect timing for it. Perfectly executed.
We got a good one shaping up here on Friday Night Football. In the paint, McAllister. Good burst. There's a flag. He's tripped up and taken down at the 40. Vernon Adams Jr. will get the ball back for the Calgary Stampeders. Started the game 3 of 5 for 54 yards. Had a 3-play drive on their first offensive possession of the game to give them the lead if you're just joining us. And now Winnipeg
during the return
has answered.
Holding Calgary number 2. This is a 10-yard penalty. First down Calgary.
Kyle Wilson, the guilty party on special teams, and now back Calgary up inside their own 15.
Yeah, and this is the worst. If you see it right here is where we're looking. You get bullied. Jackson comes down here and just says, boom, I'm going right down your chest. So you get bullied on film, you get ran over, and then you kind of grab on the way down. So not only did you lose the rep, then you get the penalty. That's a tough, I've been there. I've been there. It's a tough spot.
You want to destroy that tape, don't you?
Yeah, you're like, oh man, it's going to look bad tomorrow.
Adams on the out to Brooks, and Brooks gets his hands on this one, and that'll silence the crowd, at least for a moment, here in Winnipeg.
Got a little nervous there, Dustin. You see Vernon Adams. Look, he goes to throw it. See, it's just a little, there's a little clutch there. Something he talked about this week was how against this defense, it does so much disguising. They do match coverage. They trigger into what looks like zone. They play man. He needs to be on time, in rhythm, and accurate, and that's getting very close to being a dangerous throw.
It's a 2nd and 4 for Calgary. Right on their own 20. 4 options out to his left. Pressure from Winnipeg. VA lays it out, and it's hauled in. Philpott went and got it, working against home. First down, Stampeders.
I'll tell you this, Dustin, it's a sweet throw, it's a sweet catch. We talk about Mills. Look at this blitz pickup. You want to know how this happens? Okay, best run in the league, boom. I mean, it don't get much better than that. That's not exactly how you draw it up. And then you look at the other side of this thing, just a very good, I call this a sail route or a sprayed out. You just go with speed. It's a speed cut. You roll it. And just like that, we're pushing it almost to the midfield territory right now for Calgary.
No work from their own 39. 3 options out to the right for VA. Looks to his left. Throws to his left. It's a high ball, but it's hauled in by Tevin Jones. And he's just short of another Calgary first down. Had just 1 catch last week, but he's got one here tonight.
Yeah, I really like that. Vernon Adams went right after this and said, hey, great job, because this is not the most accurate throw. It's exactly what they want to do, but he hangs onto it, eats a big hit. We got a ball game developing in Winnipeg right now.
Major Williams with the finish on Tevin Jones. 2nd and inches, and Quincy Vaughn easily pushes that ahead just outside the 50. First down for Calgary as they look to respond after giving up that Dembski touchdown.
I'll say this, just kind of the overarching picture of the West right now too, Dustin. If you're Winnipeg, you know that Calgary has a lot of talent. They've been in all of their losses. If you can find a way to win this one today, you can, I don't want to say ruin the season, but it's certainly a very big hole to get out of in the tough division with the West is.
I know it's only week 8, but this is a massive game. If Winnipeg wins this, they take the season series with Calgary. They'd be 6 points up on them. They'll hand it off to Mills, a little bit of a hesitation, and then he pushes ahead for positive yards on first down. Bombers taking that first game between the two teams by just a couple of points, so not even to the middle point of the season yet, but it's a huge game for Calgary.
Implications, you said it. This is a season-defining game, in my opinion.
Another look at Mills, who lost a shoe at the end of that play.
That's one thing, I don't know how you lose the shoe. Maybe some people like the shoes lightly tied.
I'm a big-time tight shoe guy.
Me too.
Here's Adams down the field, wide open. Oh my goodness! It's McAllister again, and he's gone. Touchdown, Calgary! A silencer here at Princess Auto Stadium, and McAllister's got 2 touchdowns tonight. VA 18 to start the season without an interception.
Dustin, I want you to look at McAllister. He's in the backfield, and it's a busted coverage, so that's where he starts, and they kind of hide him. So again, when we talk about match coverage, sometimes what that leaves you vulnerable, and I say matches, you have to figure out after the play who has who. And clearly there, coming out of the backfield, confused the defense of Winnipeg, and you leave an uncovered man right down the middle of the field. If you're a Bombers fan, that'll make you sick. If you're a Blue Bomber, excuse me, if you're a Calgary fan, you're pretty thrilled with that play call.
You're loving it. 6 plays, 96 yards, ends up in the hands of a wide-open Tyreek McAllister, who's got 2. Calgary's Winnipeg 15-7. Here's another look at McAllister's 2nd touchdown of the game.
Dustin, so it's weird here is we got a little kind of pick route outside here, and it's going to bring all the eyes to it. You're going to see everybody look at this pick route, but we forget right down the middle of the field here, and then our deep safety is also pushing to a potential vertical. So to me, there's 3 guys there that are in the wrong. And I don't know if that's a miscommunication thing pre-snap. There's 3 guys that have the opportunity to cover that, and they all just completely drop it. That's one that, when you fire up on film, a lot of questions being asked in that room.
Here goes Babel. He's got a little bit of space, cuts it inside, and they'll wrap him up again. He's feeling it tonight, though. Keep an eye on Babel. History made for Vernon Adams Jr., the first quarterback in CFL history to start a season. 18 touchdowns, no picks. Princess Auto Stadium tonight.
It's just a really fun stadium.
Good vibe here.
The Rum Hut, city gets into it. I always enjoy coming to Winnipeg.
Going to the Rum Hut during a game is one of my lifelong goals. Got to be here when I'm not working, though. Now they'll hand it off to Brady Oliveira, and he's hammered down. Charles Wiley got all of them on that one. Good look at a pretty packed house here at Princess Auto Stadium. Tarps are still on for now, but by the end of this game, I have a feeling there'll at least be one section where the shirts are off. 28 degrees at kickoff. Felt like 38.
Yeah. Rain this morning, too. Very muggy vibe here today.
Thunderstorm this morning. Heard thunder in the morning. Creeps him out a little bit.
Yeah. Winnipeg, all grit.
2nd and 8. Brown got that one in there at the 50, but it won't be enough for a first down. Good tackling from the Stampeders, and Dembski could not get loose. And they are going to bring Castillo out for a 57-yard field goal attempt. 58-yard field goal attempt. Looks like is what it'll be. Sergio Castillo hit from 56 earlier this season. This one from 58, just inside the right hash. That kick is up, and it is yanked wide left. McAllister waits, takes it out here on the missed field goal, and will find the 10. Winnipeg downfield, trying to slow it down, but they won't. Here goes McAllister. How about this? He'll find the 50, and he is gone. Tyreek McAllister goes the distance. Touchdown, Stampeders. Not a flag in sight. And McAllister has a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and now a return touchdown in this game.
I think there was a laces out. I think it was a laces out dance situation. It looked like a bit of a funky hold. Because that ball was kicked very strangely. And you look at this, Dustin, and I know there's a lot of people that love this. For me, look at the O-lineman. I mean, I'm just not like, you ran by some O-lineman, Dustin.
You're not as impressed by him.
No. see guys make great plays in competitive situations, and I'm not trying to take anything away from McAllister. He's obviously extremely fast and hit the hole very well. He just ran by a bunch of linemen there, didn't even get touched, and it was even closer. Let's check out the hole, because that's a bit of a strange kick there by Castillo.
Yeah, we got to get another look at this. I mean, Castillo has been good from deep, and they use him a lot from this far out.
Oh, laces. I'm not a specialist. When it spun in, I don't think the laces were in, though. I don't think we got laces out there.
Those are side laces.
Yeah, you'll have to ask a kicker. It just was really a poorly struck ball. I mean, it struggled to even get to the goal line.
That kick went about 59 yards, really.
I mean, look at the big fellas trying to, dude, we got no shot here. We got no shot. And I feel for him. Imagine asking a guy to be 320 pounds and battle in the trenches all game and be like, hey, go tackle McAllister.
Which you don't usually have.
In open space.
118 yards for McAllister. And he's got a return touchdown, a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown in the first half.
He's been phenomenal. I mean, what can't this guy do tonight?
This is an all-time half from Tyreek McAllister. And now Winnipeg finds themselves in a bit of a hole here at home. Tons of time still. And we are settling in for an absolute doozy. For Friday Night Football, McAllister has 240 combined yards and 3 touchdowns in this game. Now here's Babel. If anyone can answer, it's him. And Babel will be contained back to the 35 and no further.
I think if you're a Bombers fan right now, the good news is you were in a similar situation last week against Ottawa and much later in the game. But one of the big things is playing at Princess Auto, obviously the fan, the crowd noise. This place has gone from very excited after the Nick Dembski touchdown to very silent at the moment.
It was a 17-point fourth quarter comeback against Ottawa. They trail in this one by 15, but we're only midway through the second quarter. Brown had enough on that to find Pokey Wilson, and he'll be marked just short as he came back to that ball, just short of a Winnipeg first down. For Wilson, that is his second catch of the ball game, and it'll be second and inches. Bryce Perkins will come into the game. And Perkins doesn't need much. Bobbles it, picks it up, and then still has enough. The offensive line had moved everybody to the point where he can pick up the bobble, and it's an easy first down.
That'll scare you a little bit. You know, you start getting into these short yard situations, you fumble the operation, and you're Tommy Condell, so you have trust in it, but it makes your stomach turn a little bit.
A little nervous. Got the job done. Wasn't pretty, but Drew Brown will come back out. And Winnipeg really needs some sort of response here with 6.5 to go in the second. They'll work from their own 46. Tim White in the slot to the left of Drew Brown. And they'll go on the ground with Brady Oliveira, waiting for a hole to open up. Nothing did, so he just pushes it ahead for a couple of yards on first down. And they've contained Brady so far in this game. This Calgary defense has to be happy with the first half.
Yeah, and you said it, Dustin. This Calgary defense has truly been phenomenal, and Bob Slow deserves a lot of credit for how this game started. The only play was on a great return where they had great field position, the Bombers, and they hit that screen play. Outside of that, they have struggled to move the football through the air or on the ground.
Empty for Brown this time, 4 receivers, so to his wide side left. Calgary will just send 3. And Brown finds Dembski in a soft spot of that defense, and he's got enough for a Winnipeg first down.
When you watch Nick Dembski play football, it's just the toughness and the grit. Like the touchdown earlier, you see the determination to get in. Even here, I know it's a simple play here. It's a 5-yard hitch, but the finish, this jumps out to me. Puts the shoulder down, drives the feet, get a couple extra yards. That's why he's been so great. You just build around guys like that. In a moment where you need a play, he's the guy who's going to make that play for you.
Drive continues for Winnipeg. Brown's 9 of 4 for 94 yards, or 9 of 12 for 94 yards. He's got a ton of time here, and he's got another first down as he gets it into the waiting hands of Gavin Cobb. Cobb's second catch of the ball game that puts Drew Brown over 100 yards here in the first half.
Yeah, this is a really nice job here. You're going to see Cobb coming up here. He's trailing, and then he basically sits. He finds a void in the zone. So there he goes. You're going to see this very soft zone. And we sit it down, kind of angled towards the corner, and we come back to the football, protect the throw. If you're going to play that soft zone coverage and you can protect up front, which Winnipeg did a great job there, there's a lot of voids to be taken advantage of.
First and 10 from the Stamp 40. Brown, Wilson. They had some blocking set up for him, broke one tackle, and puts him in a second and very manageable.
Little tunnel screen here, and again, I like the offensive line when they get out going. Little bulls on parade action. So you see Drew just come back when I say tunnel screen receiver. You see Neufeld there, Ellsbury. The big fellas are out wide. Asking him to block some DBs.
Second and 4. Orimolade and 3 other Stampeders on that defensive line. They'll give it to Brady, who pushes it ahead, and a first down on the ground in this second and 4 situation. And Winnipeg marches on.
Again, talking to Pat Neufeld for the game. He talked inside zone as the foundation of their run game, and here it is right there. We talked, there's a little stutter, makes a man miss, gets that first down. They want to get back in this game. To me right now, the best way is to continue to chew up yards with Brady. He's a bell cow meat. Run that ball inside, keep everything in second and manageable, or convert on second and short.
He's got 5 carries so far in the game. This time they'll flip it to Tim White. Can he find a little bit of room? A little bit, not much. He'll get maybe 3 yards on his first carry of the game. Probably the best drive that Winnipeg has put together in this game so far. As we hit 3 minutes in the first half here in Winnipeg, it's the Stampeders trying to snap a 2-game slide. They lead 22-7 on the road.
Because we wanted to wish our fearless leader here, Jamie Rydell, a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jamie Rydell.
That's why they're a panel and not a group of musicians. Happy birthday to Jamie, though.
Yeah. Big year for Jamie, sure. I think he got honored with a big award for the golf world. Big birthday today.
Turning 52 years old. Here's Brown. Good timing on this as Wilson turns right into it, and it's waiting there for him.
This was awesome by Drew Brown. He threw this ball before Poke Wilson was even out of his break here. It's just a comeback route. You're going to see push up, come right back. So here we go. Little switch concept. Boom, we go speed, 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 back to the fender up, and you can see Drew knows we talked about chemistry. He hasn't been here long. We talked about how many times he's been targeting Ontario Wilson. When you can throw a ball to a perfect spot before the receiver even puts his foot in the ground to break, that's when you know that combination is humming.
15 targets last week, 6 in the first half for Pokey Wilson. First and 10 from the Calgary 14. Brady Oliveira! Right down Main Street, untouched, touchdown Winnipeg! Brady's first rushing touchdown since week 1 against Calgary.
Dustin, so Calgary brings the house, and you're going to see it, and it creates what I like to call a one-level defense. So we get a one-level defense. All you got to do is wash everybody one way, and Brady will do the rest. So here we go. They all wash to the right. Brady just rides that wave. When you have that, again, when you start bringing blitzes like that, that is the one issue. So Brady starts right, cuts left, but as the offensive line, you almost start licking your chops like, hey, we see the blitz. If we ID this correctly, and everyone goes man on man, all you need is a small crease, and there they had a huge one, and you're parting the sea.
Brady Oliveira's got 23 career rushing touchdowns. That might have been the easiest one. right off the top of the broadcast tonight. And this is his first rushing touchdown since week 1 when he had one in a big game against Calgary, and a big hole opening up. Brady making no mistake on that one. And a drive that ended in a touchdown that Winnipeg had to have before the half as they go from trailing 22-7 up to 22-14. Now it's booted low, bounces once. McAllister, true triple threat tonight, picks it up and takes it back just outside the 25. It's another great battle between O'Shea and Dickinson, always on the field and off the field as well. Let's send it down to Danielle Bain.
Thanks, Dustin. Yes, both of these head coaches are the longest standing head coaches in the league, but the battles go way beyond coaching. They used to play against each other as well. And you know what? What's funny, I talked to O'Shea about it. He said there may have been some moments from their playing days that Dickinson might not have liked. So of course I had to get the scoop from Dickinson. He says there were some late hits involved, a lot of jabs thrown at each other, but as coaches, they have so much respect for one another. It's super fun for them to battle it out in the West. And if you look at their regular season head-to-head as head coaches, it shows you just how close this friendly rivalry is, with O'Shea currently up 13-11, guys.
I think what Osh really needed was bigger shoulder pads.
Hey, that's that old school ball right there. I like that. It must be pretty unique to have played against a guy for that long and on two opposite positions, and then coach in the same division now against him.
Well, both have so much success as a player and as a coach as well. 2nd and 7. Adams has a completion, and that'll go for a first down. Clark Barnes for the first time in the game, and he'll move the sticks for Calgary.
It's been a bit of a weird half for Winnipeg's defense because they've only given up 15 points on defense. Like, it has not been bad, but some of these plays, like Barnes there, again, just sitting there on a 5-yard hitch, and you're getting cash for, substantial yardage.
VA's got 8 completions. I think 4 of them have basically been the exact same play.
Yeah.
And they've all gone for much more. Well, they've all gone for first down. That's what they have right now from their own 41. This time it'll be ground attack. Dedrick Mills pushing it ahead. And he'll get at least 5, maybe 6 on that first down rumble.
Dustin, these drives right now with the time left on the clock, remember, Winnipeg won the toss and elected to take the ball. So if you're an offensive guy in this huddle right now, you got to say, hey, let's have a nice sustained drive and end with points. End with points and get a chance to double up here. A lot of games can be won and lost in these moments.
2nd and 4 for Adams. 8 of 10 for 158 and a touchdown. And another quick pass, this time to Philpott, and that goes for a first down again.
So you're going to look at this here, just an RPO action. So you see Vernon Adams is going to put the ball kind of in Mills' stomach, and there's a little flat here to Philpott. We pull it right away. You're reading the Sam linebacker. He bites in, you throw it.
Now out to Brooks. And he is taken down by Major Williams immediately.
Dustin, watch Major Williams here. Here he is. He comes flying in, defeats the block, and makes the play.
Get out of my way.
You want a little spark there, stop this drive, or at least put him in 2nd and long. On paper, Calgary has that thing blocked up well as far as X's go, but Major Williams says not so fast. Watch this.
Stampeders would need a little bit more for field goal range here. Ball on the Winnipeg 50. 2nd and 10. Adams. Brooks. And that won't be enough for the first down, but it will be enough for a field goal attempt, I would think.
And you got to tip your cap to Major Williams here. First up, coming into this game, his completion percentage allowed is number 2 in the CFL. So he's a tremendous cover guy. He makes a great play on first down and then flies downhill to keep this field goal long-ish on 2nd down. What a nice series there by Major Williams.
McAtamney, 90% on the year. Hit from 57 earlier in the campaign. This one will be from 51, just inside the left hash. That is right down the middle. A no-doubter for the Stampeders.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you in part by The Score Bet, an official gaming partner of the CFL.
Well, we saw Castillo from 57, 58 earlier, and he shanked one. McAtamney, no mistake here.
Yeah, I mean, that's can't kick it much better than that. It's really a difference in this game right now is that field goal and the ensuing touchdown that came from it. The missed field goal by
His field goal, big swing in this one for sure. Drew Brown gets it back, 48 seconds to work with. He'll give it to Brady Oliveira, breaks one tackle, now a second, and he rumbles ahead. There's a flag on the play in the secondary. That's a big pickup for Brady Oliveira, but what's the penalty? Got an injured Bomber lineman as well. I believe that's Broxton. Reaching for his right knee. It is indeed Broxton. The officials, a quick discussion just outside the Winnipeg 45. See on the timing of this flag being thrown. Long discussion there. Broxton, 5 years with BC Lions, all CFL last season. And he is up relatively quickly and walking off the field. We believe this flag is going to be picked up.
You look at Dembski here. So what happens with these rules is whether or not he's considered in the tackle box, depending on that motion.
There's no foul on the play for low block. It's a legal block by 10 Winnipeg.
So if he's a tight end in the position of a tight end, that is completely legal. It's a bit of a gray area where if he's, let's say, a yard outside where the theoretical tight end would line up, then that's a illegal block. So I think they saw it, probably went back, realized, yep, he lined up as a tight end via the motion. Clean play.
21-yard rush from Brady Oliveira stands. Brown now. Pressure hit as he throws. Almost intercepted. He got popped by Clarence Hicks. Injured Stampeder back by the Calgary 30. Up, grabbing his helmet now. Zy Alexander.
And what's tough here is with Broxton going down, you bump Wallace out to right tackle. So you see Flo come on the one side and basically force Drew Brown up and into a massive, I mean, you could hear that one up here.
So Winnipeg has this ball in a second down situation on the Calgary 49. They would already try it from here with Castillo. We saw him miss from 58, but if they don't pick up anything here, trot him out here again, I would think. But 2nd and 10 for Brown. He's got Dembski and White and Wilson out to his right. Now Gavin Cobb slides over there as well. Brady out in the slot to the left. That's where Brown's going to look. It's where he's going to throw. He's got Tommy Neal, and Neal will be stopped. Nice tackle on the play. And Neal is stopped just outside the 40, so a little bit more manageable here for Sergio Castillo.
Yeah, and when we roll this, Neal does a great job of catching this thing. Okay, but look at the tackle here. Boom. Okay. These things, they matter so much. Because if it's not a big hit or anything like that, it's a first down, the sticks are moving, and we get a couple extra plays to get them closer.
49-yard field goal attempt pretty much straight away for Castillo as he looks to bounce back, and that's exactly what he does. Flats it through, right down the middle. Little shoulder shrug there from Sergio, and the Bombers come away with points, and now trail by 8.
You do love to see that mental toughness from a kicker. Obviously, these guys have been doing it for a long time. You expect it. But I always say you got to continue to idle when guys make mentally tough plays. You miss it, it leads to 7 the other way. The last kick, he comes in, long kick there, drills it right down the middle. I'll tell you one thing right now, Coach Mike O'Shea's going to love that out of his kicker.
Castillo knows that his miss earlier will be a talking point at the half because it led to a 118-yard return TD. Laura, Enoch, Milton Lapo waiting for you at the half here on Friday Night Football. VA's got 9 seconds. Can he look for field goal range? He's in trouble and he'll be taken down. Ball is out. Calgary's on it. And VA a little slow to get up. Serezna, wrecking ball late in the half.
Watch the effort here from Serezna. He's playing with this is a 3 technique for all those football gurus out there. Just grinding, comes up, little bull rush action, keeps working, slides off it. It's the little things. You want to take away scrambling lanes for Vernon Adams. And he got up real gingerly there. Good to see him back in there taking a knee to end this thing.
We're going to talk some trash. Major Williams as well.
I like that, Dustin. Hey, I like a little trash talk. Believe it or not.
Send a message at the end of the half.
Let's go. We're in for a good second half coming up.
What a half. In fact, it's the only time we've ever seen a half like this. McAllister becomes the first player in CFL history with 3 different types of touchdowns in a single half. Had a rushing touchdown. This is his receiving touchdown. And then, of course, 1 hop on the missed field goal. And it was no doubt the other way. And he stands by with Danielle Bain.
Thanks, guys. Tyreek, what a start for you. A rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and then you return a missed field goal for a touchdown. How are you able to showcase so much versatility in your game right now?
I just give all credit to my coaches. Well, I thank God first more than anything, but I just want to give credit to my coaches, my teammates, just putting me in a position to make plays, and they trust me to go out there and make the plays, so I just make them. So
you have a big start, and then your quarterback, Vernon Adams Jr., makes history with that touchdown that he threw. What can you say about him and what he's been able to do for this team's offense so far this season?
Man, I can't. It's just amazing what he can do. Like the leadership he brings, the player that he is. It's just amazing just watching him come to work here with him every day, and I'm so proud of him. And I just want him to keep going.
Good luck in the next half.
Thank you.
Well, Laura, we've got a good one here between 2 teams in the West on a beautiful night in Winnipeg.
Between the Stampeders and Bombers, Calgary leads 25-17. Danielle Bain is standing by with Nick Dembski.
Nick, 3 out of the 4 wins you guys have so far this season, you've been trailing at halftime. What has allowed you guys to pull those off, and what will you lean on here in the second half?
I guess it's just the resilience of this team. You know, we never consider ourselves out of the game. We just want to make sure we fight till the bitter end. So we just got to do all we can, play our Bombers standard, play our Bomber football, and we'll be good to go.
Some of the guys that may not get as much love sometimes, the O-lineman, Patty Neufeld, a great play on your touchdown. What has he brought to the team this season and continues to do so year after year?
Yeah, leadership, physicality, and he's a vet. You know, he knows what he's doing out there. It's probably not a look he hasn't seen. So, yeah, them boys did a great job opening that thing up on my touchdown, so I owe it all to them.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Winnipeg won the first meeting of the season. Calgary's lost 2 in a row. They're 2-4. They're 2-1 when they lead at the half, which they do now, and they will have the ball to get us started. McAllister, first player in league history. Oh, and a big hit to start the half, and a flag does come out. McAllister, the first player in league history in the first half to have a rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, and a return touchdown. And he takes a big pop on that one.
Yeah, that's it. This drives me nuts. I just don't get it. You know, it's a good return here by McAllister. We started to have you give him a free 15 yards. Like, that's clearly a late hit. You're stepped out of bounds. At least try and lay up. Like, in a tight game, in a division game, you just can't give up 3 yards. I'm already fired up. We're 5 seconds into the second half. I'm losing my mind.
14:55 left in the third quarter.
They might get away with one here. Looks like we're having a meeting of the minds here with the officials.
So it did look like that is a penalty, but
yes,
there may be a penalty on the other side here too.
During the return, holding Calgary number 90. Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Winnipeg number 36. The difference is 5 yards. It's first down.
Does that calm you a little bit?
It does. You know, they catch a break there. I just think it's an unnecessary penalty in a game where it certainly seems like right now it can happen, but it's going to come down to potentially one play or one possession.
Calgary will start here on their own 41. Mills will slide over to the right of his quarterback, Vernon Adams. Adams fakes it, now down the field, has Philpott. Philpott bounces on the one tackle, makes another man miss, still going, oh my goodness, Philpott, he'll find the 20, and he's going all the way. Touchdown, Calgary! They start the half with a bang. Adams, Philpott, end zone.
Dustin, what an electric start to the second half. Let's talk about how this thing gets done here. Okay, it's a great disguise. So when we go back, look what we got here. We got an extra offensive lineman playing tight end, and we've got a tight end. Looks like run. We got Dietrich Mills back there. We show run. We line up in it. We got a pulling guard. Everyone bites in. We get a one-on-one matchup to the wide side of the field, and Philpott does the rest. Makes one man miss, makes two men miss, makes three men miss. You want to talk about an extra effort play right there. Should have just been explosive. I'm losing my mind in a good way. Philpott there, it's a sweet route, and it's even better after the catch. To make it three guys miss. What a start to the second half.
69-yard touchdown pass to Philpott. He's had at least 30 yards from a big play perspective now in 4 straight games. And the Bombers, we said it early, they've had some trouble tackling tonight.
A lot of trouble.
And that one will certainly be reviewed and probably dove into heavily when they look at the film on this game.
What a play by Jalen Philpott. And just the route there, too, and understanding leverage, understanding coverage. You see at the top of his route, he just makes a real subtle, Dustin. But it's a subtle move to the outside. Little stem late in his route, which just creates that separation. Ball's thrown on time with extreme accuracy. And again, after the catch, that's what drives you nuts if you're a defensive coordinator. Okay, you got burned. You give him an explosive. You don't want to give up the big touchdown because we can't tackle.
His brother putting on a show out east. And Jalen having an excellent season as well. He's got 4 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown tonight. That puts him over 500 yards on the season already.
What a play.
And now the Bombers have to settle in themselves. Babel has to hustle to get to this. Grabs it just inside the 25. And he will get wrapped up short of the 40. Drew Brown heads out onto the field, trailing now by 15. Here's a look at Drew in the first.
Yeah, it's a very solid first half. You know, Dembski had some nice plays. Ontario Wilson, him connected. The one he wants back is right there. But all in all, again, you can't ask this guy to come in the beginning third of the season with no training camp and just start shredding teams in this league. So I think he's played pretty solid, but they're going to need him here to play even better because down 2 possessions, Vernon Adams starting to heat up.
13-17 for 136 yards. And they'll dump it off to big tight end Dante Daniels. And he's close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be marked a couple yards short.
Dustin, I love this play here. So what they do here is they line Dante on this. As an ex-tight end, this is my favorite. Okay, so you line him up and it's a little run action. So here he is here. He's going to sell block first. And you basically wait to trigger. So here we go. He's going to sell block, boom. And you see Hicks trigger and he just goes, oh, look, it's basically a tight end screen. It's a play they like to kind of get going, use here and there. What that can also do is slow down the defensive line in the run game.
8 yards to Daniels, 2nd and 2. Perkins in short yardage. Reaching ahead, and that looks like it'll be enough for a first down.
A little trivia for you here, Dustin. Where did Dante Daniels grow up? Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, my goodness.
Who would have thought? A great tight end out of Windsor. Who would have thought?
Really like this guy.
Absolutely. And, you know, talking to Patty Neufeld this week, I did ask, how's Dante doing? He's a youngster. And he just said he loves the intensity he blocks with. And when you have a 15-year vet talking about a rookie and he's saying things like that, that says something. You know, those Windsor guys got a little grit to them.
Now they'll toss it ahead to Dembski. And that one is wrapped up. Anthony Johnson. Big for a corner, 6'2", 220. He steps up and makes the tackle there.
Yeah, and you said Anthony Johnson. Great coverage this year. As we talked about earlier, he's third in the league in completion percentage allowed. Now he's coming up and making sweet plays on tackles on wide receiver sweeps to Nick Dembski. Sounds like a complete player.
Dembski in the first half, 66 yards and a touchdown. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for Drew Brown. Dembski straight down the field. They're going to look for Wilson, and he finds it at the 40. Wilson upended at the 30, but Drew Brown with a big strike right into the heart of that Calgary defense to Pokey Wilson.
And Dustin, we talked about the chin concept, the go in the in. It's one of their favorites. And here again, it's a different variation this time. But what we're going to see here is we're going to come out and come inside. There's going to be a clear out route here, and we just slot underneath. Watch the patience here from Pokey Wilson. He ends up coming in. And we'll get back to it. Pokey Wilson does a great job of basically slowing, let the receiver clear out in front of him, and then win on the inside. It's a great throw by Drew Brown.
6th catch of the game for Pokey. Empty set here for Brown. Calgary sends 4. Brown gets it away quickly and on target. Moncrief and Webb were there, but Dembski's got another catch for the Bombers.
These are when sometimes I wish I could just get into the, and you can see Drew Brown right now, he's asking the play call game, but get into the head of a play caller. Such a crucial, monumental 2nd down here. It's 2nd and 6. Any chance you motion Brady back and run the football? Do you go empty here?
They got Brady at the top of the screen, way out to the right for Brown. He's going to look to the left. Pressure there. He's in trouble, and they get home. Orimalade's got him. His 3rd sack of the campaign.
And they're trying to get a matchup wide receiver on a linebacker, and it doesn't work. And then you're going to see Flo here just absolutely dominate. And again, it's a tough situation because it's not your normal right tackle, but Flo comes all the way around, runs the hump, little stunt. As much as you want to blame offensive linemen, quick game is not supposed to take that long. So to me, that's what we call a coverage sack, not on the O-line.
Castillo 1 for 2 tonight. This is a 36-yarder, and he makes it a 12-point game. The Bombers trail by an even dozen, trying to take the season series against Calgary. Orimolade loving it. Really like a stop on this one.
Yeah, this is a moment where you got to go. Your big-time players, Willie Jefferson. I would put Jake Cereza in there. Someone's got to make a play, kind of flip the momentum in the 2nd half.
They've done a great job of Mills so far in this game. Mills is not in there right now, though. Okay. Here's Adams. McAllister. And he finds a little bit of space. Picks up close to 6 yards on 1st down.
McAllister is an electric runner with the ball in his hand. So again, a little wide receiver screen, comes back here. I just hope we make a guy miss here. We kind of knife this thing up. Well, what looked like a 1-yard gain ends up being a really nice 5-yard gain, and I'd say it's a short 5 here to go.
My son is watching at home tonight, and he's going to be mad at me because I advised him last week to drop McAllister and pick somebody up.
You're in the doghouse.
Daddy's in trouble.
Yes,
Daddy's in trouble.
Yes, he is.
2nd and 5 for VA. Philpott stands in. Oh, that was almost picked. The streak was almost over for Vernon Adams. Kyrie Wilson got inside the receiver on that one.
And again, you see Vernon look the other way, and he just doesn't have any time because this time it's Fletcher gets in there. This is almost a disaster. You got to kind of understand, you still have a 2-possession lead. You can't turn the ball over. It should just eat the pick there. I think Burns very fortunate to get away with one there, but in fairness to him, not the easiest when Fletcher's standing right in your face with his hands in the air.
From the 35, Bassett hangs one out there. Babel will take it. Made one man miss, trying to get to the outside, but Tevin Jones, the receiver on that cover team, gets down the field and makes the tackle. VA, no interceptions yet this year. Almost gave one away there. Is one of them. For more on that, let's send it back down to Danielle Bain.
Thanks, Dustin. Neufeld has seen so much in his career. He's been in the league since 2011. And when I talked to him this week, he said one of the favorite things for him at this point in his career is actually being a vet, being an older guy and having those moments where he can really be a leader for those younger players. Now, 2 weeks ago, his veteran presence was on full display after his teammate Trey Babel fumbled on a punt return. He was one of the first guys to go up to him on the sidelines to offer some of that support, telling him he was just about to do something big and just to focus on that next play. Well, not too long after the fumble, Babel returned a Toronto missed field goal into a Winnipeg touchdown. And while it was all going down, Neufeld was running down the sidelines telling me that he was screaming, "I told him so!" Just yesterday, Babel was laughing as I told him the story, saying just how grateful he is for Neufeld and the rest of the vets on this team. They truly feel like big brothers or uncles, people that would do anything for them on and off the field, guys.
One of the moments of the year in the league, that series of events for the Bombers as they go back on the ground here to Brady.
I'll say this. A lot of times when you see these guys, look at them. Oh, okay. When you talk to certain position players, they just know their position. And I had the privilege of talking to Pat this week, and he just is a guy who understands ball. You know, he has an electric feeling. Just talk to him. Hey, we're talking fit and run games. We're talking pass pro. It was really a special conversation for me. I was very fortunate to have it.
Back to Brady again, looking for that first down, and he's got enough. Took a few bumps along the way, right in the face of Wilson there. It's a first down for Oliveira.
Yeah, I love that. I call this riding the wave for Brady. And he said, like, I just got the first down. I don't know, you're talking smack. When I say riding the wave, you're going to see him start right, and the wave ends up left. You just kind of read. It's patience with that offensive line. I like it's getting a little feisty in there, but I think I'm on Brady's side here. I know it's a big run, but we got the first down. I generally err on the side of the offense, so I will say.
Here's Brown. Brady again, trying to break a tackle. They'll desperately hang on to him. Wiley and Wilson together on that one.
And again, I know it's a boring play, but in the same breath, it's really putting your team in 2nd and 5 like that is a massive thing, especially against the pass rush of Calgary. It was a really cool play design, a change-up. Generally, you hear me say inside zone. That was a gap scheme where they pulled the guard and Dante Daniels, a tight end, just giving different looks. Tommy Condell's on it right now.
He stays on the ground again here. Usually it's a passing situation, right? But and they're going to run a little bit of a draw to Oliveira. He's got a first down over a defender. There's a flag back by the quarterback. But Brady's feeling it right now.
Yeah, it's going to come back, which is unfortunate because I don't think we needed to do it. It's a great draw play.
Holding. Winnipeg number 65. 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
So we're looking center here. We'll have to watch this thing. See how they set. So they got the wrong. I believe they got the wrong number there. You're looking. It should have been the left. To me, the left guard there is main. It could have been 2 holes. What a legitimate call.
So it's a 2nd and 14. Will certainly be trying to pass the ball here for Drew Brown, who's 17 of 21. And he's going to go down the field. Dembski working against Webb. Webb almost took it away. But Dembski defends it and knocks it out of his hands.
Now,
fans want a flag, Luke.
I think this might be one you could consider challenging. I'm surprised Dembski didn't make more of a reaction. Yeah, we'll see it here. Initially live. first time. It's a great job by Dembski to pull that ball out. Playing DB there by Nick Dembski.
They won't challenge it. Looked like Osh had a quick conversation with Dak, and now it's blocked. Ball's just sitting there. And Winnipeg will hop on it. There's a flag on the play. Cadwallader turned around and hopped on top of that one. And what a play by Calgary as they continue to get it done on special teams. Thomas using all of that 6'4" frame to make the play.
There we go, KT. Hey, KT, say something back home to the
Dust.
Hi, Mom.
There's a meeting of minds going on with the officials right now, but special teams is killing the Bombers right now. They're just getting, I don't know how this happens.
No yards interference. Winnipeg number 47. It's 15-yard penalty. First down, Calgary.
Special teams for the Stampeders, the difference in this one. Look, Thomas flying in there. Calgary ball when we return to Winnipeg. Massive moment here on Friday Night Football. Big block by the Stampeders.
Yeah, you're going to see on the right side of your screen, but I think this is a shanked punt. If you see the trajectory of the punt here, and I'm not a specialist, but watch the drop. See the big drop there? And the ball's out. I actually think this is part of the reason this is blocked. Like, generally you have to take it off the foot, Dustin. There's a lot of space there. I don't know if they're trying to directionally kick a low liner, but that was a real funky situation.
Either way, first down, Calgary looking for the touchdown, but it's broken up. Jake Kelly helping out Evan Holm.
And I'll tell you this, Jake Kelly stepping in for Cranby. What a play here. Okay, you got an inside seam here. You're just going to see it. We try and wrap around the first level and then get going. And we're gloved. It's gloved up there. And Kelly with a great PBU. That's the type of play you need, because you, in the situation right now, you got to hold him to 3. Wow, what a big play by Kelly.
Third pass breakup of the season for Kelly. 2nd and 10 for VA from the Winnipeg 21. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Looks to the right, throws to the right, has looks. Tried to break a tackle, but Major Williams got just enough of them. It's still a first down, though, for the Stampeders.
Little stop route here, and the key with these stop routes is speed. Speed, 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 speed. Boom, we got to dig, dig, dig. Okay, they go double route, the stop, come back, and you just want to push that defender back. So what we saw happen there is it was like you almost want to lose double route, and then goes to the DB backs up, put your foot in the ground. Great timing throw by Vernon Adams as well.
First and goal for Calgary from the Winnipeg 7, looking to blow this thing open. Mills stands in to the left of Vernon Adams. Now he flares out to the left. To the corner, up for grabs, got it! Batted away! They're going to say touchdown, Kevin Jones! His 4th of the season! But there will certainly be a discussion on this one.
Dustin, you know, I'm an offensive guy. I don't think it's long enough possession. This is a tremendous, they call it hands to hand, so it's a great throw. It's a great initial catch. But let's watch this thing here. I don't know.
I would agree with you, man.
I don't. So when I say hands to hands, you realize he's going to catch the football and you go right to where his hands are. Ooh. This is the gray area. It's in every league. What is and what isn't a catch? How long and how short do you need possession?
The lower look makes me think he might have had it for long enough, but that's also slow-mo. And they are going to say it's a good touchdown. And Calgary goes up by 18. Now Calgary goes up by 19. McAtamney knocks another one home. After the big blocked punt, it's 3 plays, 21 yards. Touchdown, Kevin Jones. Calgary on top. Back when he was with Edmonton, he's got 4 already this season.
Yeah, so I want you to watch the eyes here of Major Williams. So he's actually playing zone, and you're going to see Philpott come in here in a sec, right, really late. So there it is. See how that hesitation is, and you see Philpott, he's looking at Jalen Philpott and just over the top. When you have a receiver that's 6'3", like Jones, Vernon's basically catching that ball and reading the low defender. If he drops there, I got to find Philpott. If he decides to hesitate, you got to trust your guy and put a throw on him, which is what Vernon Adams did.
Winnipeg at home, down 19. Pavel on the return. Flag as he's tripped up just outside the 25. Tevin Jones fitting in very well here with Philpott and Brooks and Brissett. Clark Barnes, they bring back Alford, maybe Beggleton at some point. VA's got some guys
holding
he can get the ball to.
25. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
And this, we talked about a bit earlier, Dustin, but when I say you're Winnipeg, the names you just dropped at receiver. Like, if Calgary gets going, and we haven't seen a ton of it tonight, but when Vernon Adams needs to also do the off-schedule plays, which he is tremendous at, this team has the makings of I believe the young kids call it a wagon. and you got a chance to kind of really put a dagger in him early in the season, and certainly slipping away from Winnipeg at the moment.
Drew Brown down the field, cannot connect with Tommy Neild.
And Dustin, I'm not trying to make excuses for Drew Brown or Tommy Neild here, but when you see zone plays like this that miss when you're open, I credit that a lot to just not understanding. These guys haven't spent that much time together. You know, they don't exactly know, okay, I'm expecting Neil to sit down here. Drew Brown thinks something else. Tommy's is in a couple yard difference, and you got, instead of a big first down conversion, you're sitting at 2nd and 10.
Zach Collaros watching on. 2nd and 10 here for his backup, Drew Brown. Pressure coming. Got it away.
It's a brutal decision by Drew Brown. We just roll sing. This is not open at all at any point. You drive on it, but this is. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have.
I've seen pitches that get fumbled, but not pitches that get picked off.
Pokey Wilson.
So respect for Pokey for being there.
Now they'll get it to Cobb, and he's upended on the play. I can't believe what I saw there.
It's a great pick. Let's start by saying it's a great pick, good catch. And when it happened, it was such a gut punch to me because I was like, well, there's the game. They're jammed up now. But this is a very, very bad decision. Like, and what extra are you going to get? You're already in their territory. Vernon Adams has got 273 right now and 3 tutties. Like, let him go score.
Wow. 2nd and 6. Brown almost gave it away, but Tim White pulls it in.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool here because Brown's got a guy right in his face too. And we go back to Hutchins. Hutchins gets in there, and then we just wrap this kind of seam around. Wow, tight window. Tim White. Nice job there by Drew Brown rebounding. You know what they say, you give someone a break, they'll take advantage of it. Looks like it could happen.
Right back into the arms of White again. Can you imagine if that turnover leads to a Bombers 19-point comeback to win this football game?
Yeah, I think LaBrosse is going to be sick about that. Because, again, he's played very well today, just doing a little too much in a moment where you don't need to. It's already a tremendous play.
Do you think Lee's asking for the ball there? Is that why he gave it to him?
I hope not.
It looked like Lee sort of jumped behind him and was like, here.
Yeah, I certainly hope not.
Doesn't mean you have to give it to him. Here's Brady Oliveira right up the middle. Brady Oliveira to the 20. Brady Oliveira cuts it to the outside. Touchdown, Bombers! Brady Oliveira does it again. And Winnipeg has life.
Dustin, this is a really sweet draw play. So you're going to watch the offensive line all set. They're not really drive blocking. And it's just a special play call and a great finish by Brady. So you see the 5-0 linemen, they're all going to take a step back. So ball snap, and you see how they all set like it's pass pro. And then here you go, everyone rushes up the field. And you got, I'd say new center because he's coming in for the injury. Dewey, great job climbing, and Brady does the rest.
Castillo boots it through. And the Bombers' deficit is back to a dozen as they refuse to go away.
That's what a tournament. That's a wild one.
Let's fucking go.
Brady Oliveira, 11 carries for 118 yards. Here it is. That's how it started.
That is wild. And then you rip the seam in here, tight window throw, and then a great play call by Tommy Condell. Draw Brady here, let him cut here. Both. Look at, and we got to highlight. I know it's not a big block, but Pokey Wilson here. He picks off the ball earlier due to hustle. And if you're a young receiver sitting at home right now, instead of being first and goal from the 7, because Pokey Wilson is showing effort and running downfield, Brady just uses his presence and cuts right off and finishes the job. So Brady deserves his flowers, but Ontario Wilson is going to show up at the film meeting, not on the stat sheet, as a guy that made a lot of big plays in that drive due to his effort.
Brady now has 3 rushing touchdowns on the year, all 3 of them coming in the 2 games against the Calgary Stampeders. His 2 100-yard rushing games, the 2 games against the Calgary Stampeders as well. They don't have an answer. Here's McAllister. He'll take it into 15. Broke 1 tackle, stays on his feet, and they'll wrap him up short of the 40. Milestone night here for Brady Oliveira as he passes 6,000 rushing yards in his career. Just the 5th Canadian rusher to do so, joining a very, very short but impressive list.
Yeah, there's a lot of great names on that list, and it looks like he might, maybe if it's tonight, it'd be awesome if you're a Bombers fan, but he's certainly going to continue to climb that list here in the very near future.
Well, Calgary will get the ball back again. Calgary has now scored 30 points in 6 games in a row. Last time they had 5 in a row was almost a decade ago. This one goes nowhere. Great spots tonight for Winnipeg. You contain Dedrick Mills.
Yeah, and I'll say this, so this drives you insane if you're an offensive coordinator, because it's a free hitter. So when we watch the right side here, we get this and we get that. This is as plain as it comes. Like it's an X blitz from your Sam linebacker, Griffin. You know they're going to play the gap inside. You don't communicate up front, and now you're staring at 2nd and 12. Certain things need to be executed, and that was one of them if you're Calgary's offensive line.
2nd and long for VA as the corner winds down. Bombers social pressure, back it off. Adams, he's going to be taken down. Ball is out of the Bombers onto the 50-yarder. Looked like they had it at the bottom of the pile. Winnipeg takes it away. Gakuth makes the play.
2 plays in a row for Gakuth. He comes on the pressure earlier and then hits this one. Unbelievable.
Do not go anywhere. Week 8 started with a bang last night. How are you supposed to follow that up? Well, how about this? Stampeders and Bombers back and forth on Friday Night Football on TSN. Quarter coming up here in Winnipeg. Stampeders lead the Bombers 39-27. They've scored 39 points. This is the best rushing offense in the league. They've only got 36 rushing yards.
Yeah, to me, that's a glaring stat. And of those 39 points, it's a bit misleading because 7 of them came off the missed field goal return, and then another 7 was off the block punt a few plays later. They've given up some explosive, the Bombers, but they have done very well in containing the #1 rush offense. It has been really special. And I'll say this, Gakuth here with 2 tremendous plays. That speed rip there is a great job. You get the strip sack. You talk about how the game can change so fast, but the crowd has woken up. You go from an interception that comes back and you score a touchdown and then 2 big plays from somewhat of an unlikely source, not your normal Willie Jefferson.
Gakuth, the 4th overall pick in the draft out of Wake Forest, by far most impact he's made on a game in his young career. Now Brown feeling the heat from Hicks, and he has to just throw it away. Just from a momentum perspective, if Calgary's defense can hold him to a field goal here, massive win.
Massive win. I'll say this, I know he's still early in his career, but this guy Clarence Hicks is just like, he's got the ability coming out of UTSA to just take over the game. He's been everywhere tonight. He's not the heaviest guy, but he plays violent, he plays fast. You can't say enough about him.
2nd and 10 for Drew Brown from the Calgary 26. Stampeders only sent 4. Brown looking for White, and it's batted down. Jaden Grant reaching around him and batting it before it could get there. I think Ontario Wilson wants a challenge here as he watches.
Yeah, I don't know. When we roll this here, and you're starting to see these windows get really tight. Winnipeg has run a lot of these kind of deeper hitch routes or stops, if you want to call them. You've heard me say the term gin a few times. I think Calgary's starting to kind of recognize what's happening. It wouldn't surprise me if a double move is called in the very near future here for Winnipeg.
Castillo sneaks one through, and we've got a 9-point game. Well, do you think you've got the leg for it? Old Dutch Foods is giving one fan the chance to win $500,000 at this year's CFL West Final. Visit kicktowincontest.ca. One more time, that's kicktowincontest.ca to enter. Best of luck to everyone. All right, settle in here. 14 fabulous minutes to finish Friday Night Football. Brennan Adams has now gone 20 touchdowns to start the year without passing for an interception. We'll see if he can lock it in, pick up an important victory on the road. On the ground. And once again, really nowhere to go for Dedrick Mills. Mills is averaging 6.2 yards per carry on the season. Tonight, he's just over 2 yards per carry.
Yeah, they've done a phenomenal job at bottling him up. That was a big point of emphasis. Again, if you're judging them based on the first 3 quarters of this game, the Bombers defense has had a couple busted in coverages and then given up some explosives, which you'd like back, and they've tackled poorly. But I think fundamentally they've been very sound, especially defending the run.
Vernon Adams, 2nd and 7. Has some time. Dumps it off to Mills. Mills kicks it to the outside, braces for contact. And he stops short of the first down. Looks like it'll be 2 yards short of a first down.
Decisions. I think they're waiting for the spot. Mills does a great job of making the man miss here, getting close. Dustin, buckle up. Here we go.
Not a full 2, but 1.5 yards. And now a late scramble. And they're going to rush out Quincy Vaughn, short yardage quarterback.
I love this. I love big 3rd downs. No one gets more fired up. I'm nervous right now. I couldn't be more excited to see what happens here.
Winnipeg's got a lot of momentum. If they stop you here, you're in a lot of trouble. Vaughn trying to find a couple of yards, pushing ahead. No! Driven back by the Bombers. Looks like a turnover on downs. And things go from bad to worse for the Calgary Stampeders.
I'm not sure it was him or not, but I saw Tanner Schmeckel come up out of Regina. Oh, fire it up.
Let's get another look at it. Did he get the...
No way, I don't think so.
No. Cadwalader pulled him back.
Smart man.
They're loving it in Winnipeg.
Everyone does a great job up front, but watching the corner screener, Cadwalader comes all the way around, and he's got the mindset of pulling the offensive player back. So here he comes off the edge, spills it, and this to me, as you're going to push, he's like, hey, I can't just follow this guy. I got to pull back, pull back, pull back. It's the little things. Guy comes in, knifes off that edge, and it's Winnipeg football.
They'll start on the Calgary 50. Here's Brown. And it's intercepted on LeBron's redemption. And now he's going to take off. Gets it to the 40. Cuts it inside at the 30. Stays on his feet, still going. And they'll wrap him up at the 15. What a story developing here for Ben LeBron. Looked like he gave the game away. And now he takes it back.
You want to talk about wild momentum swings. LeBron sits on this, and we talked about last. Calgary as a defense is sitting on things. You're seeing him right here. He's like, all right, we're not going deep. And Drew Brown just decides pre-snap this is what he's throwing. And when I say sitting, like he's on it right away. You would like to see Pokey maybe come back there. But I'm glad he didn't pitch it this time. Bombers fan, you miss Zach Polaris right now.
Badly. Back into the red zone. There goes Vernon Adams. Bombers will send some heat. VA looking to the end zone. Phil Potno broken up. Home came over the top and batted it away. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think VA's going to want this one back because he's got an open man on the inside. Just kind of misreads the coverage. When we watch this kind of underneath, you see it's a little RPO. Cerezna gets in there. Kind of a corner smash concept to a degree, but inside there was a short end that might have been a walk-in touchdown.
Great pass by Home. Been a rough night for Home in the tackling department, but makes a great pass break up there. 2nd and 10. 3 options out to the wide side left for VA. That's where he looks. It's where he's going to throw. And it's behind the intended target, Clark Barnes. And it'll be a field goal attempt for Calgary.
And going back to the previous play here, so what we have happen is there, and then it's basically a corner there, and this is the open guy here. So as you see this, you kind of read it high to low. This is where you need to throw this ball in here, pipe it, and just kind of let him run and at least get a first down, potentially score. Pre-snap, potentially you thought, hey, the coverage, you were fooled a bit, and now you're settling for 3.
To contaminate, to restore a 12-point cushion. And he's been automatic pretty much all year. No mistake there. 10 minutes to play. 12-point lead for Calgary on the road at Princess Auto Stadium. Last night and Friday Night Football, we've got 72 combined points so far in this football game. Bombers have had a lot of momentum here in the second half, but Calgary still leads by 12. 42-30. Drew Brown, 3 interceptions. Clarence Hicks just bull rush Bryant down the field, taken away again. This time it's Alexander. And is that the final dagger? Oh, a tough night for Drew Brown.
Dustin, it's a great ISO right there. Winnipeg needs this man back badly, and again, it's tough. Drew Brown's in a tough spot. He was not here in camp. In a game like this, you just can't have these plays. But before we talk about the interception, you see Clarence Hicks is just, I mean, it don't get much better. That one sails on Drew. Tough moment for him there.
4th interception of the season for Alexander in that Calgary secondary. VA, final dagger, down the field, just short. Major Williams working against Tevin Jones, and it's incomplete.
Well, I think VA's going to want back a little bit here. It's a nice route. We come up, again, right up the turnover. It's basically a little kind of skinny post by Jones. Uses big frame. They're going after Major Williams. You want to throw that ball high. Use his frame. It's underthrown, a little too much air. Major Williams, good coverage. Again, I think you're just trying to take advantage of how tall Jones is.
About a 4-inch, 5-inch height advantage there over Major Williams. For Jones, doesn't matter if it's at your feet. 2nd and 10. Bombers hold to a field goal again. And we've got a flag.
Timeout, Calgary.
But Calgary calls a timeout to avoid the penalty.
Yeah, I'll say this. This is a crucial play, obviously, because for Winnipeg, although it's been tough sledding in the second half, you can keep this to a 2-possession game. The 3-minute rules in the CFL. This game is far from being over, but it's only a 15-point lead. That being said, if you could also potentially get a sack here or somehow affect a negative play, we all know Trey Vavel can take a missed kick to the grip. There's a guy who can do it. It's Trey. So there's a lot of things that can go here. It'll be interesting if they bring some sort of pressure to potentially get a sack here, affect a negative play. Doesn't look like it based on pre-snap alignment.
Yeah, they've got 3 on the line. Showed a little bit of pressure. They'll send 4. VA under heat. On the run. There's a flag. He's going to go to the end zone. Broken up. Doesn't matter. Would have been coming back anyway.
Dustin, I talk about bringing a blitz, so I guess when you have Willie Jefferson and Jake Sorrentz, you don't really need to bring a blitz because they're going to get pressure anyways. I mean, you look at this, they rush 4 here, and they just dominate this line.
Holding, Calgary number 60. This is a 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
It starts with Fletcher. Just winning up front. Major Williams making another PBU. And I think potentially we're talking about that field goal range. It's an interesting play call here to accept the holding.
Back him up, Tim.
Back him up instead of having a little shorter field goal. And trust your defense to make another play.
Just a 4-man front. Tony Jones leaks up into the line. Griffin slides over as well. The Bombers are going to bring a little bit of pressure. VA gets it away near sideline. Brooks takes it inside the 40. And they will be within field goal range for Mickattamney.
Just, again, game within a game, very fascinating. You said Griffin, the Sam linebacker, comes on a blitz there. Adams makes the right play by going short there to have a play call in there. You're just playing for the field goal, which I get. And this point of the game, but all in all, based on the turnover, a great series for the Blue Bombers defense.
Mickattamney for a 15-point cushion with 7.5 to play. It's a 42-yard attempt, and that is up, and he misses it. And Vavel will bring it up. Can he find room? Trying to stretch it around. Broke 1 tackle, stays on his feet. They eventually try to put him down, and they will. And hey, you said if anybody could be dangerous in that spot, it's this guy. I like to call him Vroom Vroom Vavel, the turf runner. And since he burst onto the scene last year, he's been a superstar. Most outstanding rookie, special teams player of the year back in 2025. 2 longest plays in Winnipeg history, 128 and 129-yard missed field goal returns. And he's averaging a kick return touchdown every 4.6 games, which is a CFL record. Also looks really good as a cartoon character.
Yeah, this was a great job on the offensive line because he is so hard to tackle. So hard to tackle. They get down there, kind of force him to go sideways. Breaks 1. Broke a couple more there as well.
Now they'll quick toss it to Pokey Wilson. Got a yard, maybe 2 before he's driven back. And Drew Brown still has a chance here. They were down 17 in the 4th quarter against Ottawa. Now they're down 12, but just 6 and about half minutes left to work.
And facing a second and long here, would really like to see him kind of settle back in, and completion here do wonders for this Winnipeg offense.
2nd and 8. Calgary just sends their 4. Brown still feeling the heat. Jumps around it. Now he's going to take off. There's a flag down in the secondary. Finds Wilson. And Wilson stretches it out. Now there's another flag right at the end of the play. I think the first first one might have been against Calgary. Second one, I think, is against the Bombers.
Absolutely, Dustin. You're going to get a block and going the other way here on the second penalty in a defensive holding on the first one in the secondary. So have to sort this out.
It's going to be, we believe, an illegal contact against Calgary.
Clarence Hicks also, just like he has all game, magically appeared in the backfield.
Let's try to sort out the second penalty here. Clarence Hicks is so interesting because he's listed at 224 as a defensive lineman.
Yeah, and he's very light, but he plays like he's 275.
Legal contact on a receiver, Calgary number 9, penalties declined. Legal participation, Calgary number 44. That penalty is also declined. The result of the play is a first down.
All right, so 2 penalties against Calgary. The one on the far sideline that we thought might have been against Winnipeg was on Anthony Johnson for coming back in bounds.
Legal participation. I like that.
It's an official term.
Yeah, I like that term.
In the end, completion stands. 1st and 10 Winnipeg on their own 39. Brown feeling the heat again. Dumped it off looking for Tim White. Kyle Wilson was in his back pocket. But Calgary's continuing to get some pressure on Drew here.
Yeah, and they do not have much time there. And what's happening, everything mirrors up, Dustin. So when you have the rush you've got going, specifically with Clarence Hicks, the secondary understands that and knows that there's not that much time to throw the ball deep. So you're going to have to do these stop routes. And now they're sitting on everything, and the windows get tighter. So again, everything works in unison. Calgary humming right now with this pass rush.
5.5 to go for Drew Brown. Has the completion to Clercius. R.J. Moulton hanging on to him. And that'll bring up 3rd down, and quickly the Bombers will rush out the punt team to kick this away.
Certainly anticlimactic.
Crowd is booing here in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I understand this, though. You punt, hopefully flip the field and get a 2 and out. You've stopped the run all game. Obviously, I don't expect them to go for it this stage of the game, but you kind of hope you get a little more juice in a 4-yard flat route on 2nd down.
This one bouncing past McAllister. It trickles out of bounds just inside the 5. Calgary with a lead will be backed up when we return to Princess Auto Stadium. Well, it's been that type of year in the Canadian Football League so far. Over 600 passing yards a game. Completion percentage an all-time high. The points per game, 60 points per game. We're at 72 tonight.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of factors to that. One of them that goes kind of hidden, though, is the 35-second play clock. Get more plays per game.
I think it helps. 5 to play. This drive starts in the 5. VA lays one up, and it's hauled in. Tevin Jones working against Moxie. Bought himself a little bit of space. Hauled it in.
Tevin Jones just uses the big body. It's, Moxie covers it. Look, he's on it the whole way. He's trying to squeeze him to the sideline. Just can't locate the ball. That's trust there with Vernon Adams being like, hey, I'm just going to throw a 50-50 ball up. You see Moxie there again, never really got sight of the ball, and Jones using that big frame.
Puts Vernon Adams over 300 yards in the game. Now Calgary from their own 34. This time they'll go on the ground. And the tackle is made by Dietrich Nichols as they give it to Philpott.
Dustin, here we go again. We talk about the chess matchup. And at 2nd and 5 here, what do you dial up if you're Jordan Younger? Do you send the house? Do you try and twist? Do you use your front 4? He looks pretty cool, calm, collected there. I think the way his defensive line's playing, you probably go tight coverage and just send the front four.
Just send the four.
It looks like Tony Jones, though, playing a little D end here. Oh, he's on the point. Excuse me.
Adams out to his right. Down the field. Wide open, Brissett. Flag on the play. And we'll have to sort that out. That is the first target, first catch of the game for Brissett. But this is coming back.
Number 54. 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
Dusty, talking about a big swing here. Look at the right tackle. Guess who he's going up against? Willie Jefferson. A massive completion. Okay, gets taken back. It's a legit hold. Willie Jefferson's going to work up the field, rip underneath. So he sells up. He puts his outside foot in the ground. You see the rip with the arm. It's a blatant hold. And that is a massive swing. When Winnipeg needed it, Willie Jefferson gets it done again. Imagine this, Dustin. You're sitting there, you're playing Willie Jefferson all game. Speed rush, speed rush, speed rush. Moment of need. Sells up the field, slides underneath. Little dip and rip. Just like that, 2nd and 15.
Second and long here for Calgary. What a big crowd. Starting to fire it up a notch here. I think they're going to reset the clock to 3:28 and a timeout being called. So they'll get the clock sorted out properly. So the clock has been reset to 3:28. And Calgary in a 2nd and 15. Leading by 12, though. Yeah. Find themselves in a pretty good spot right now.
Let's see a little Jake Thomas sighting there, defensive line coach for the Bombers. I want to talk about a CFL legend. That was a nice little cameo he made there, dialed in with Coach O'Shea.
And well, more than a decade defending in Winnipeg.
There he is, the big fella.
Bombers will back off Tony Jones. They'll just send for VA. Thought about going to Mills. Now he's going to look down the field for Barnes. And it's incomplete. Barnes was working against Major Williams.
Dustin, this guy, Major Williams, I understand he had the 1-2. He's playing out of his mind. He's playing out of his mind. You want to talk about great technique as a DB. Watch this here. Okay, he doesn't get tricked. Oh, you're going to trick me? No. And see how he turns? And right now what he's doing is he's squeezing the receiver to the sideline, giving there nowhere to throw. You can't cover it much better. You don't get fooled by the little slow down. What a tremendous play there by Major Williams.
Bassett kicks it into the Winnipeg Knights. Babel wrapped up and tracked down from behind. And Drew Brown will get the ball when we return. Less than 3 to go at Princess Auto Stadium. Massive mid-season battle between the Stampeders and Bombers. Calgary in the driver's seat on Friday night. This is the 2nd of 3 meetings between the Bombers and Stampeders. They will meet again on October 10th. If Winnipeg were to win tonight, that would wrap up the season series because they took the game in week 1. Calgary, though, other plans right now.
And going into this situation right now, you're obviously in 3-down territory always.
Here's Brown. Deep drop. Gets it away. Going after LaBrosse again. Trying to find Tommy Neal.
Dustin, I know I sound like a broken record, but Drew Brown's throwing off his back foot, and we're running stop routes or deeper hitches, and LaBrosse is sitting on it, as is everyone else, because you just don't have the time to throw over the top. Not with this pass rush.
4 interceptions in the game for Drew Brown. 2 of them to LaBrosse. Now he's in trouble again, and he gets pressure as he slides in and rolls over Drew Brown.
And again, you feel for Gabe Wallace here. This is not your normal right tackle, but you're going to see right here, we're just working one-on-one. It's a chop rip, and that's called that disappearing shoulder. When you have to bump a guard because Bruxton got hurt earlier, it's just a very tough matchup. And then, of course, it's a guy going up against, right now, the best pass rusher in the league statistically.
Hutchings, Orimolade, Hicks, always sacks in this game for Calgary on that D-line. Now here's Brown under pressure again. Won't escape. Got it away. They're going to rule it incomplete.
And you just said watch Hutchings on this play. You can't let these guys just pin their ears back. So here he is. I believe we're right here, and it just, he comes off the ball. Bully to a swim, fights back. He's hanging on Drew Brown's legs. There's not much you can do. Like, these guys are that good at playing defensive line, Dustin. And when they're in this situation, they know you're not running the ball. They're going to pin their ears back and get after you with just their front four.
Calgary takes over on downs and has the ball in the red zone, where they've been extremely efficient this season. Now they'll hand it off to Mills, who's been quiet tonight. He'll take it up to the 15.
I'll tell you, right now, if you're watching this game, one of the main reasons is probably because you're hoping that if you have Mills in fantasy, that he salvages the night with a touchdown. You know, that would be, if you're a fantasy football guy, you're looking for your guy right now to score.
Now, if you have McAllister on your fantasy team, congratulations on the win this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, your son did have him, but you told him to drop him.
I told him to drop him. So I'm going to get a stern conversation from young Marshall when I get home tomorrow.
I've gotten a lot of stern conversations in my life, Dustin. They're not that bad.
Timeout called here. Calgary, this is a game that they certainly had to have. And they've come out and they've been the better team in all three aspects of this football game.
They have. I will say that, and I do think they deserve to win. You know, the missed field goal touchdown return, that 10-point swing, looms very, very large right now. But Calgary has just taken the West and opened this whole thing back up.
Yep.
Obviously, the front runner right now is Edmonton with the big win last night, which, by the way, was one of the most incredible football games I've seen in a long time. I was glued to the TV. But that West is just a tough division, and it is wide open now. Wide open is for positioning, I should say.
Adams with 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards in the game. Looking for a 4th touchdown, and now there's going to be broken up. Looking for Alford, who's just returned to the team.
Yeah, and it's cover 0. They bring everybody, and he says, Alford's in here. I'm going to try and throw him a jump ball. So I get it. You see Alford at the top of your screen. Cover 0, inside leverage. You go to fade. It's the right decision. Just probably need to get these guys a little bit more, you know. I know they have some chemistry in the past, but Alford just showed up this year. I'd like that ball to be a little higher.
Alford, 6'6". He's down with the Saints. And now a big piece. You burst onto the scene as a rookie and look like he's got CFL superstar potential. And they'll continue to work him in. Katamni, 23 yards, knocks it through. Let's get to Wilson's game ball tonight. What do you got?
No surprise here, Tyreek McAllister. I mean, this guy comes out tonight. He's the first player in CFL history with 3 different types of touchdowns in a single half. Are you kidding me? Out of the backfield, receiving, rushing, and the missed field goal return. He was a special player today. He's making a lot of guys miss in a game where they needed it the most. It wasn't Dietrich Mills. I'd say Vernon Adams played phenomenal, but McAllister, to me, gets the nod when it comes to the Wilson game ball tonight.
He was outstanding in this game. His team now with a 15-point cushion and joins a very elite group. These are the only other two players. You got to go back to 88 and 87. Winfield and Jefferson with 3 touchdowns, different types of TDs, single game. McAllister did it in 1 half tonight.
I wasn't even alive for those other 2. That's
the young man.
Yeah, I'm a 90 guy.
I could barely read. I was 5 years old. I guess I could read a little bit.
Pretty impressive he was able to do that tonight. Dustin, tell me if I'm a little crazy. Technically speaking, this is still a 2-possession game, and I understand it's extremely unlikely. But there's been a lot of unlikely things that have occurred tonight.
I mean, if Vavel takes him back right now, it's game on.
That's what I'm a bit surprised that everyone's left already. The stadium's really emptied out.
Vavel, not this time. They've got him again. We were talking about Wilson's game ball. We got to go honorable mention to LaBrosse as well. 3 interceptions.
Yeah, set a team record with that. This guy's been clamping everyone today. Some great picks as well. I mean, you start here, you take one away in the red zone. Then you sit on this and you high point that ball. Now this got a little funky and people are going to, you know, potentially make a couple jokes, but he doesn't deserve it because he comes back and does this a couple plays later. If it wasn't for a historic thing by McAllister, I think I would have had to give him the nod to Ben.
Ross getting the start in place of the injured Green. Brown finds Dembski on the far sideline. We've shown a lot of Zach Collaros tonight on the sideline watching on. And Drew Brown, he was 2-0 as a starter coming into this game. But 4 interceptions tonight. And Bombers fans will definitely want to see that guy back at quarterback, I would think.
And if you just don't know anything about football, if you don't. This guy has obviously been to 5 of the last 6 Grey Cups, went to 5 straight. There's a disclaimer. I would call Zach a friend. I got to be on. You know, I like being blunt. But this guy plays the game of football at a tremendously high level, and they need him healthy.
Brown throws one that Wilson knows he should have had, but that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah. I think Brown's seeing a little bit of ghost right now, which I get. You know, he's been banged up. They have not protected him well. You're missing your starting right tackle, but it's very fortunate that this game didn't become a 22-point deficit instead of 15 on that one.
Calgary playing in a 6th straight game in which both teams scored at least 30 points. And that one in the direction of Cobb. Looked like it one-hopped, and that'll be incomplete. Calgary plays high-scoring games, both sides of the ball. Simple as that.
Yes, they absolutely do. Again, you know, you don't want to pump anyone's tires too much, but with the way that Remilati, Hicks, Hutchings, and we haven't talked about him a ton, but Brown is also a tremendously tackled. It's definitely an incomplete. They're going to short hop. This Calgary team can beat you up. And although the record doesn't show it even after this win being 3-4, I don't think anybody wants to play this team.
Up next for Calgary, they will go to Hamilton. Hand it off to Mills one more time. Let's give you an updated look at the standings in the West. As Luke mentioned earlier, this Calgary win really tightens things up in the middle of the pack there.
And they all are going to play each other. You know, that's why it's awesome. And the fun thing about being in the West is even if you're the 4 seed, you know, you get that crossover situation. And the East is a little beat up. You know, with Bo Levi getting hurt, that's a massive loss for Hamilton. Scott Milanovich has got to figure out a way to win games as he did last week, but certainly everyone's back alive now. Or I should say Calgary's back alive.
Back to Mills, breaks through to the 10, end zone touchdown. Dedrick Mills, and Calgary piles on.
I just had a feeling, Dusty. I had a feeling the Dedrick Mills fantasy owners are still tuned in. How many points? How many fantasy points?
Salvage the game a little bit. Yeah. If you're starting Dedrick Mills now, he's been an absolute stud all season.
Nice job on the right side here by Coley. climbs up, gets on Kyrie Wilson. Dedrick Mills follows his block there. And that's that.
In addition to LeBros with the 3 interceptions and McAllister, Philpott with the career high tonight, 128 yards as well. And now Dedrick Mills gets involved in the fun. That's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. For Calgary to hang 52 on a pretty good Bombers defense, with Dedrick Mills doing so little in this game.
Really
kind of stunning, isn't it?
I'd say it's a statement game. You know, obviously Alfred came back this week. Dave Dickinson's like, yeah, you know what, Mike O'Shea, I remember that hit. I remember that late hit back in the day you got PI'd for. It's even up that record. A tremendous night for Dave Dickinson and the Stampeders.
Winnipeg's defense allows 26 points per game this season. They've allowed double that tonight to the Calgary Stampeders, who earlier in the year hung 58 on the Argos, and now they put up another big one. Another 50-burger, this time against the Bombers. Stamps had lost 2 in a row. They'll snap that. Bombers had won 3 in a row, all 3 of them against the East. And they're going to take the loss here tonight. Pavel looking for some blocking help. Got a little bit of it. And he'll take it out just outside the 41. Winnipeg, we talked about Calgary. What's up next for them? Winnipeg will be at home against the BC Lions. BC trying to hang around in this conversation. That'll be a big one. And you mentioned Calgary, where they're at right now in the standings. Calgary plays BC twice still this season. They got obviously a home and home with Edmonton. And then in the final 3 weeks of the year, they get the Riders and they get the Bombers.
Yeah, win tonight. It's still tough, you know, they're 3-4, but they control their own destiny. And as a player, as a coaching staff, that's really all you can ask for. You're right back in the thick of this thing. You got to win some tough ball games, but you control your own destiny. You're not relying on anyone else. They want to get into the dance. They got an opportunity to earn it here as the season unfolds.
Vernon Adams keeps his streak alive. 3 passing touchdowns tonight. No interceptions. That puts him up to 20 in a row to start the season without an INT. Passed Ricky Ray tonight to move into 3rd all-time for passes without an interception.
Also, there's been a lot of historic things tonight, Dustin. I mean, that's a... Whenever you are passing Ricky Ray and anything you're seeing from the quarterback, pretty special.
Craig Dickinson, special teams coordinator for Calgary. Happy with McAllister's work tonight. Bombers will give it to Brady once more. They went away from Brady due to game script, I would guess, in the 4th quarter. He had 11 carries for 118 yards and pretty much haven't done anything with him since.
Yeah, offensively, they just kind of looked like they had it for moments and they got out of sync. But I think my favorite part right now is that Dante Daniels is out here, the youngster, talking smack. He's really doing a nice job representing Windsor, Ontario. I'd be doing the same.
And tight ends.
And tight ends. You know, I love that energy. We'll be back. That's what he's saying. Just introduce himself to the league. Maybe he'll talk a little smack here too.
Clock ticks down on the Bombers, and they will fall uncharacteristically to 1-3 at home this season, as Calgary with a statement victory against their division rivals, 52-30 the final. What a performance from the Stampeders.
Yeah, Stampeders certainly to me, really a statement win, turn the season around potentially. And on the flip side, Winnipeg, who I still really like to have a great season, it goes to show you how badly they need Zach Collaros back in their lineup.
Mike O'Shea and his Bombers have a 3-game winning streak snapped, and Calgary puts themselves right in the conversation and what's becoming a cluttered middle in the West. And Vernon Adams Jr. continues to sling it. Over 300 yards, 3 more touchdowns, no interceptions. Career night for Philpott with 128 yards. McAllister, 3 different types of touchdowns in the first half of this game. And LaBrosse with 3 interceptions, one of them more memorable than maybe any before. And the Stamps roll over the Bombers in Winnipeg. That'll do it for Friday Night Football. Thank you for joining us. SportsCenter with Jen Hedger, Nikki Reyes.